Hi everyone, my name is Chris Hludzik, and this is going to be the first in a series of videos where I explain my songs throughout my whole career so far. Main reason I'm doing this is because I'm a music fan myself, and I'm always interested in finding out what inspired songs, where they came from, how they were written, how they were recorded, etc. So I figured I would do it for my own catalog, and I hope after watching these videos you have a little more insight on my work, and maybe it'll make you interested enough to want to go out and check out some of my work. So I'm going to be starting off with a release called As We Speak, which was really the first recorded work of my own that I had released at that time. I'd been in bands before, but I didn't write any of the songs. I was just a player in those groups, and this was the first time any of my own material had actually surfaced on any of the releases. So I figured this is a good place to start as any. So basically, the release was called As We Speak, and the project was called The Latter Day, and it was myself and my good friend Brian Brophy, who at that time I had recently reconnected with via the magical wonders of MySpace, when MySpace was actually a thing. And Brian had always been into music, and I had always just been a music fan. I didn't play music, I didn't know anything about music, I didn't know the first thing. But by the time Brian and I had reconnected, I had already been playing, I had already been in bands, I had already been writing my own stuff and recording stuff, I was working at the studio, so for the first time there was actually a chance there for us to actually get together and do something. And just to show you a little illustration here, I don't know how well you can see that or not, but that's the cover for the As We Speak album. And as you can see, I had very, very long hair back then. Not anymore. It was a phase. I got over it. But basically, the As We Speak album was just a collection of stuff that represented mine and Brian's diverse musical tastes. We liked a lot of stuff besides the main idioms that we worked in. Brian was doing what was known then as screamo or emo music, and I was just doing straight rock and pop kind of stuff. And I'd been in some alternative rock bands. So this was a chance for us to do something different, away from those idioms, away from those genres. So it was a chance for us to kind of just spread our wings a little bit. So the first song I wrote for the project was a thing called The Powers That Be. It was a bit of a bluesy number, and one of the first really bluesy numbers that I'd really written. And I've always liked the blues, particularly British blues. So I kind of thought it'd be cool to kind of write something in that sort of early 70s kind of classic rock, bluesy rock kind of style. So it's just a real simple kind of a blues, in E. That was pretty much all I had. And I had some words, and I had that riff. And Brian said, wow, I really like that. And he went over to his keyboard and he started playing some keyboard riffs, really cool bluesy piano licks, and came up with this really cool Hammond B3 organ part. And it was great. And I mean, we had the song basically right there. But I was missing a verse. I needed an extra verse towards the end. And I had been writing stuff since I was a teenager. And in fact, all my lyrics that I had up to that time were from when I was a teenager, before I even started playing music. And I didn't call them just, lyrics or anything. I called them songs. Even though I hadn't even learned to chord on the guitar yet, I called them songs. So, as I figured one day, if I ever do become a musician, these could be my songs. And that's kind of what happened. Most of the lyrics I wrote back then were kind of really unusable, because I wasn't writing from a musician's point of view, I was writing from a writer's point of view, and the words were just flowing out from me onto the paper, with no real concept of timing or parts of songs or what'll work, what won't work. in a way, that's a better way to write sometimes because it doesn't inhibit you, but in a way, when you do really want to make a good, solid song, it does kind of inhibit you. So, in addition to writing these songs, I was also still writing some poetry, and I had this poem called Hail, like, you know, Hail to the Chief, or something like that. And there was a line in the poem that said, everyone's got a price tag, everyone's for sale, everyone wants to be the chief, but just who's going to hail? And that turned out to be the verse that I needed to finish the song. And really, it was cool. It was cool coming up with songs like that. Then the other song I came up with was a song called Need, which was another bluesy song. And it was really really cool song. I came up with this really neat drum part that I wanted Brian to play, and he pulled it off brilliantly. But the way I recorded back then is I didn't record with click tracks. I recorded with, like, you know, drum beats that were on guitar pedals or bass pedals or on keyboards. In this case, it was a keyboard. And the keyboard I had at the time, you know, you would just hit play and play the drum track, and, you know, it would, you know, hit a cymbal every 4 beats or something to show you that a measure had passed, or something like that, you know, or every 2 measures it would hit a cymbal or something like that. And for this particular song, I wanted some cool fills, and I wanted some stops and starts and stuff like that. So I was able to do that, but I had to kind of, as I'm playing the track, I had to stop it and then count 1, 2, 3, 4 in my head, and then hit it again and start it again. And then there was a fill button, and you hit the fill button, and it was supposedly still going in time with the rest of the track, but it always seemed like there was like a half-second delay. So when we did the recording, Brian had a little bit of difficulty getting, you know, his part to line up and getting to play it exactly the way that I wanted him to play it and follow that track. But I think it only took him 2 takes and he got it. And it was a really cool song. And, you know, again, just a simple riff, you know. Really simple bluesy riff. The song was actually kind of more of a dirge than a blues, but the way I played it, it was kind of a blues and it was really cool. And that was Need. And another song which I had part in the project was a song that Brian had written lyrics for called Moonbeam, but he didn't have music for it. And I came up with the music, and I also sang the chorus, and it was a really cool song. And I like the As We Speak album because there were really no expectations, and there was no pretense about it whatsoever. It was just 2 guys, 2 old friends who wanted to make some music that they loved to make, and made it, and that was it. So basically, we recorded the album, and we played 2 shows, and then after that, Brian had an offer to join a group, and he wanted to go and do that, and he also wanted to start his solo work again. And I, for a time, considered continuing on with the Latter Day and maybe just getting another member, but I couldn't see doing that to Brian because the Latter Day was our thing. You know, it was Brian's thing and my thing. So I couldn't see putting somebody else in that position. And to be honest, that was about the 3rd or 4th band that I'd been in since I started playing, so I figured, well, maybe it's time to put the band thing down for a little bit and go solo. So I decided to go solo as well as Brian decided to go solo. So it turned out to be a good thing for both of us, and we actually ended up working on each other's projects throughout the years. So a lot of our friends ask us, because a lot of our friends really liked the Latter Day Project, if we're ever going to do another one, and I would love to do another one, but just the timing and the schedule and everything of, you know, everybody's lives are so crazy now, everybody's so busy with other things. Never to say never, because I would love to do it, and, you know, Brian and I both still write a lot of diverse stuff that we can't use in our own projects, so there's always the chance for another Latter Day Project. So, but until that time comes, my name is Chris Hludzik, and this has been a video talking about the Latter Day As We Speak, which contains some of my first released songs. And the next video in this series is going to be talking about my debut release, which is called Yours in Rock, which was released in 2008. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. And if you want to check out any of the Latter Days material, you can check it out here on my YouTube page. Go to my playlists and check out the Latter Day songs, and you can hear a sampling of some of the songs from the As We Speak album. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.